Aloha and welcome to the Murph's Place 808 for the Love of Golf podcast. I'm your host, Murph. I hope everybody has had a great week out there this week. It's not been too bad here. Have had some nice weather. Looked a little rainy, like it was going to rain the last few days, but it didn't rain. I think it rained overnight last night, but other than that, it was okay. We had a good FIA match on Sunday. Myself and Joe P. were battling it out on the front nine. He shot 32, I shot 33. However, on the back nine, I started having some putting woes, and he continued making birdies and ending up shooting 67 to retain the belt. I couldn't catch him. I had 73, but too many bogeys on the back. It just made me realize that I've got a lot of work to do on my putting. As a matter of fact, we normally play the Murph game Tuesday through Friday at Moanalua after work, and I told those guys after Sunday that I was not going to be there this week because I would be on the putting green practicing. I'm going to go over to Kapolei practice range because their greens are really nice, and it's a great place to practice. So that's where I'll be this week. After work, heading over there and working on nothing but putting. I don't know. I used to have, I was telling Chris, it's been last week sometime, that I used to have this pre-shot routine that I did all the time. I don't normally walk all around my putt. I don't look at it from the other side every time. I don't look at it from the sides every time. I usually do look at it if I think there's some type of break or there's a little bit of slope to the green. I will walk around and look at both sides usually. I don't like walking behind. For some reason, it doesn't fit my eye that when I look at it from the other side of the ball, not behind my ball, but from the other side, I sometimes just get confused about, well, from this side, I see it breaking left. From this side, it looks like it's more straight, maybe even a little right. So I don't like doing that. Now, I have better success if I just look at it from behind and I go to one of the sides of, like I said, if there's some slope to it. So I'll go to the side and check it out there. And so I used to do this. So when I address the ball, I would follow my line. I would obviously line my ball up. And then I would follow my line with my eyes that I wanted the ball to take to the hole. And I would follow that line once down to the hole, and then I'd follow it back to my ball, and then I'd immediately putt. I've gotten away from that, and I've started, I don't know why, but I've started like looking at it 2 or 3 times and then being uncertain. I think as far as being the uncertain part, if you're not putting well and it gets in your head, then you're gonna always second guess yourself. And I think that's what I've been doing, and I've been missing a lot of putts that I should be making. And so instead of doing that, I want to get back. I was telling Chris this last week that's what I used to do, and I'm trying to get back to that. And I was doing that on this front nine for the FIA belt on Sunday. I was following my line, following it back, putting. But then I missed, I think on 9, I missed a birdie putt I should have made. It was probably maybe a 4-footer, 5-footer for birdie, and I missed it. And I think that just got in my head, and so I wasn't feeling real confident when we got to the backside. And I missed quite a few putts that I had a chance to make. It wasn't like they were guaranteed, 3-footers, but they were within the range that I normally make them. So that negativity got into my head, and I got away from doing the, looking at my line and following it back and immediately putting. So I'm going to work on that this week. I'm going to go Tuesday through Thursday and work on that putting drill for one, and a couple other putting drills that I like to do. I've had somebody here last week ask me about putting. Like, I tell them, when you go to practice with some type of purpose. Like, it's fine to sit back there and just hit balls, putt balls to a hole or try to make long ones or whatever. If I'm working on long putting, it's basically lagging. I'm not trying to make it I'm not trying to make it in the hole. I'm just trying to get it close enough so that my second putt is going to be an easy tap in. So just practice with a purpose. So I kind of play this game. It's kind of an around the world type of game when I'm putting, and it may help you guys with your putting also. So what I'll do is this only works if there's not a ton of people on the putting green. So I'll start at one hole and I'll putt to the next hole up there. So I'll putt 4 or 5 balls. If I'm putting 5 balls in my head, or the rules of the game for me is I have to make 2 putting 4 of those 5 balls. Now, if I make one on my first putt, then it doesn't matter. I move on to the next hole. So I'll work my way around the putting green, putting to all the holes, doing that. Now, say I put my 5 balls down to the hole and I only make 3 of them. I have to go back to the previous hole that I was at. So I put those 5 balls back to the previous hole. And if I make those in 2 putts, then I go back and advance to that hole that I started, the first hole that I went to. And I'll work my way all the way around the putting green, and then I'll work my way backwards around the putting green. Now, this can take some time, depending on the length of the holes also. I mean, there's going to be some holes that you're going to have 20, 30, 40-foot putts maybe. And those are the ones that you're going to work on your lag putting, trying to get it just close to the hole so you can make that 2-putt. So that's one of the things that I do as far as working on putting and making it not just boring, just bending over, putting a ball to the hole. I also will do a drill where I'll take 6 balls and I'll put them around the hole about 3 feet, 4 feet around, all the way around the hole. And I have to putt all those balls in, and all of them have to go in the hole. I can't miss any. I'll do that drill until I make it 5 times, or not 5 times in a row, but 5 times. So once I put those all in 5 times, then I'm done with that drill. So just if you're going to work on something, just, make it have a purpose. And on the driving range, it's the same way. I talked about that when you're hitting balls at the driving range. Don't sit there and hit 20, 30 7-irons. Play it like you're playing a course. Hit driver, then hit a 7-iron, and then hit a wedge or whatever. Change your routine up so that you're not hitting. You're not going to hit 27 irons in a row on the golf course when you're playing around. So just practice with a purpose. So that's what I'm going to be doing this week. And then Friday, I am going to go and I'll play the Murph game with those guys on Friday then. But I just need to get some stuff worked out with this putting. It's killing me. It's absolutely killing me. Today we played the Beach Boys. Mondays is obviously the Beach Boys. And by the way, if anybody local is looking to join a club or has Mondays off and then you want to play some golf, go to beachboysgolfclub.org. That's our website for our club. It's a really good club. Right now we've probably got maybe 20 members, and anywhere from 12 to 16 show up to play each Monday. But it's a really good club. It's cheap to join. They're really good guys. I'm working on getting the schedule put up on the website this week for next year, but we have all the dates, pretty much all the dates. There's a few of the holiday dates that we normally play the military courses, but with this COVID stuff still going on, they're not allowing the public to play. You got to be retired or active duty or a dependent to be able to play on these on the military courses. So we got pretty much the schedule all set for next year. But it's a great club and a bunch of great guys, and there's a chance to win a little bit of money. I mean, we have a bunch of different games that we play within the club, and we play obviously club greenies and chippies, and we play another greenie called Tommy's Greenies. We play low net front, back, and overall, and low gross and skins. So there's a chance that you can make a little bit of money, and it's handicapped. You'll get a gin handicap when you join each week. Obviously your handicap is going to change daily now with the new system, depending if you're posting scores all the time. But it's a really good club. So if you're interested, please join us. We played Hawaii Prince today, It was a good day, beautiful out, not a lot of wind at first. The wind picked up a little bit on the back nine, but not a lot. It wasn't as bad as it could be or has been in the past. But it was a good day. Won a little bit of money. Rob Kim and Chemo Green played for the Memorial Cup Championship. Rob Kim just played some really good golf today. He shot 68. His handicap today on that course was a +1. So he shot a net 69, but that was good enough to win both low net overall and low. He won a low net, I think, on the front. So it's a good time if you are off on Mondays or you're looking to join a club to play regularly. And you don't have to play every week. You do earn points for showing up and playing every week. And at the end of the year, there's a prize. There's prizes for having the most points. And the way you get points is showing up to play. And when you shoot your low net, if it's par or under par, you get points for how many under par you are also. So that's with your handicap. And we have all kinds of guys. We have Rob and I are both, I think, zeros. He was a +1 today. I was a 0 at there, but we've got guys that are 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 handicap, 20 handicap. So don't let that discourage you from coming out and playing in the club, being part of it. So I got a couple of funny stories to tell you guys, but let's take a break real quick, and we'll be right back after this. Hey guys, I got to tell you, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me tell you how. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Not only that, but Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many other sites. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's ANCHOR.FM. Okay, welcome back, everybody. A couple more things along the line of the club. If you're interested in joining, you can either leave a message on the website, beachboysgolfclub.org, or you can shoot me an email at murphsplace808@gmail.com. We can let you know what's going on. Obviously, it's only $60 to join for the year, and the majority of that money goes for our Christmas party at the end of the year. It's a good time. And the only thing you really have to play, it's $25 a week, and that covers your low net, front, back, and overall, your low gross, and your club greenies. The other stuff is additional. You don't have to do them if you don't want to, but you can get some money from them if you do them and you happen to win them. I mean, for example, Tommy's greenies today, they were worth $80. So you can make some money. It's only $20 to get into it. So the guys that paid the $20 to get into it made $60 just from Tommy's greenies today. Club members are the only ones allowed to play the club greenies. So when guests come, we had 3 guests today. When they come, they're allowed to play chippies and Tommy's greenies. So we had one guest win a Tommy's greenie. So he made $60 just by hitting the green. So it's a good time. So if you guys are interested, please come out and join us. Like I said, shoot me an email or leave a message on the website, and you could come out and just play as a guest the first time to see if you like it and if it's something you want to be part of. But anyhow, so a couple funny things happened. So the other day, I'm here at the house, and I have a 1-bedroom apartment, and my washer and dryer are out in the garage. I went out the other day and was doing something in the sink, and I pulled the hose for the washer out of the sink, and I put it in there's a small little garbage can, little garbage bucket next to the washer and dryer. So I put it in that, and I went about, I think I was washing something in the sink. I forgot all about that hose being in the bucket. So I came back, and then a couple days later, I was getting my stuff ready to play golf the next day. And I was like, oh man, I got to do some laundry. So I went out and I put my clothes in the washer, turned it on, and I left, came back up to the front. And so when my stuff got done, I went back there. The floor was all wet, and I had no idea why. I thought, oh, something happened to the washer. It busted. And then as I walked over there, I realized, no, I forgot to put that hose back in the sink for the washer to drain into. And so it drained it into that wastebasket and then went all over the floor. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Luckily, everything was up off the floor and nothing got damaged. I have an awesome landlady, and I told her what happened. And she actually texted me. I was playing golf the next day, and she texted me and said, Mark, I think something might be wrong with the washer because the floor was all wet. And then so I just waited till I came home, and then I told her, no, this is what happened. I screwed up. So I was like, you got to be kidding me. You're such an idiot. And I just, luckily, like I said, nothing got damaged in the garage. So somebody was looking out for me. Hey, I looked at, there was a couple of things when I was talking about getting back to doing things the way I used to. One of those things is I am going to start working on doing what I did in the early days when I was playing, and that was reading Golf Digest, reading Golf Magazine, and picking up tips in there and then going out to the range and practicing them. So if you guys haven't seen it yet this month, the Golf Digest issue is a pretty good one. They've got pretty good tips in there and stuff to work on to help you with your game. It's got Jessica and Nelly Corda on the front, and they're doing some lessons also in the magazine. So if you haven't picked that up, you should pick one up. Also, congratulations to Victor Hovland. Man, he is one of my favorite guys. I was telling Chris the other day, we were sitting there watching after golf. We were sitting and watching the Mayakoba Golf Classic, and they showed a picture of Victor Hovland, and I told him, I was like, man, I really like this guy. It's only his, I want to say second year, maybe. I think he played last year. I know in 2018 or something like that, he got an exemption to play. He missed the cut at this tournament. He missed the cut by one stroke. And then 2019, he came back and played it again. I think that was his first year, or maybe that was the year he got the exemption. But he missed the cut again by one stroke last year. And then this year, he wins the tournament. That was so awesome. Ended up shooting 20 under, all rounds in the 60s. So congrats to Victor. And like I said, I really like the guy. And Chris had asked me if I watched Ricky Fowler, because this kid went to Oklahoma State, and that's where Ricky Fowler went. And I guess Ricky and I do remember seeing commercials. He did a show about Oklahoma State golf. I don't know if it was on the Golf Channel or one of the other channels, but I do remember seeing some previews for it. I never watched an episode of it, but when I was telling Chris how I like this Victor Hovland kid, he's done well in a couple of the tournaments. I think this was his second win. He won one sometime in 20. I can't remember which tournament it was. This was his second win. But when I told Chris that, this kid I like it. I like how he plays the game. Chris was telling me, he asked me if I watched that show that Ricky Fowler did. I said no, and he goes, this kid is a really good guy. So I'm happy that he won the tournament, and like I said, he's a guy that I enjoy watching play the game. It was also pretty cool to see Andy Ogletree, that got to play with Tiger in the last round of the Masters. He was the low amateur for the Master tournament. I don't know if he. Oh yeah. He made the cut in this tournament too, and he didn't play bad. He had a couple rounds in the 60s and then a couple rounds in the low 70s, and I think he ended up tied for 45th or 46th or something like that. That was pretty cool that he finished, like I said, he was a low amateur at the Masters, got to play his last round or the final round with Tiger, and turned pro, and this was his first tournament. So not a bad start, tied for 46th. That was another discussion I had with Chris. We we kind of ask each other these questions while we're hanging out, and it has to do basically with golf. We both said we can watch golf anytime and all golf. Right before they were showing the Mayakoba Classic, they had the LPGA on, and so we were watching that. But I just love watching all golf. I can watch it all day long. It doesn't bother me at all. And I think it's just because you can relate to it. Yeah, you're playing the game, and guys or girls hit shots, and you're like, oh, okay, I've hit that shot before. And sometimes when they're not really good shots, those are the times when I'll go, oh, Tiger, I hit that shot before, even though it's not one of his best shots. So I think it's a sport that you can relate to because you're playing it, and you kind of know what is going or what they're thinking or how you're going to hit a shot like that. So we'll ask each other questions like that. So one of the questions I posed to Chris was, if you were if you could play on the PGA Tour, would you rather win 3 tournaments or finish in the top 20 in every single tournament? And his answer was that he would want to win 3 tournaments. And so I told him I would rather finish in the top 20 in every single tournament. Now, I don't know obviously, to win 3 tournaments would be awesome. But where's the record stand for most wins? Obviously, that would go to Tiger Woods and a couple other guys. But what's the record for the most finishes in the top 20? I don't think that many people have that record or, have finished in the top 20 a lot in every tournament. I think you would be the only person to ever do that. And I've never Googled it and tried to check it. I'm going to try to check and see if there's a record like that. But I think I would rather finish in the top 20. I would be happy. I told him if I was a PGA player, I would be okay if I just won enough money to retain my card every year. I wouldn't even have to win a tournament. It would be nice to win a tournament, and of course I would be trying to play to win a tournament, but as long as I finished in the money and made enough money to retain my card every year, I'd be good with that. I'd be okay. I wouldn't have too much of a problem with that. But I don't think we'll have to worry about that with our game. Neither one of us is going to be playing on the PGA Tour anytime soon. I still have my hopes up, though. I still have my goal. I still want to win the U.S. Senior Open Championship qualifier over here in Hawaii so that I can go play the U.S. Senior Open Championship with some of those guys. That would be awesome. A couple of guys here have done it and went and played. I haven't got to talk to those guys since they've went and played it, but I would have to believe that it is an awesome experience to do. I could imagine just how nervous you would be playing with those guys. I would try to say that I wouldn't be, but there's no way. There's no way. You're playing with some of the greatest golfers in the world. You would have to be nervous, I would think. I don't think anybody could not be nervous. And it would be amazing to make the cut. Obviously, as an amateur, you're not going to get any money, but it would be cool just to make the cut and play all 4 days. So that's my goal anyhow, is to someday be able to do that. And I got to do it soon. My time's running out. I'm not getting any younger. All right, let's take a short break and we'll be right back. This podcast is brought to you by Smart Boy Studios, the best studio and artist collective out of Ohio. Smart Boy Studios provides recording, mixing, and mastering services, as well as any other audio post-production you need. Smart Boy Entertainment artists Corey Gossett and JV Tree have a new EP out on November 20th, 5 Day Friends. The 6-song project explores the fun and friendly energy that these two artists have on a track together. With production from D. Swove, Vesta, and Ash Matthews, you can't help but to bob your head, tap your foot, and sing along to the stellar set of tracks. Head to www.smartboystudios.com to stay up to date on new music, new videos, and any upcoming events. If you'd like to support Smart Boy Studios and their artists, visit threads.smartboystudios.com to check out their merch. They offer hoodies, hats, shirts, and more. All right. Welcome back, everybody. So another question that we kind of posed each other was, who would be your dream foursome? Who's the three guys that you would want to play golf with? My picks were Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, and Payne Stewart. I don't remember what Chris said his was. Some people, and he's not the only one I've asked this question to. Obviously, it's been talked about before. You know, when I name my three guys, you know, you got guys, what about Tiger Woods? I'm like, yeah, I mean, it'd be cool to play with Tiger, but if I'm picking my dream team to play with, those three guys are the three guys I want to play with. Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, and Payne Stewart would be my three guys. So shoot me an email with your guys' picks. Who would you, that's the question I'm posing to you guys this week is, who would you want to play golf with? It could be somebody current or somebody in the past. They don't even have to be alive, obviously. Who would you want to play golf with? Who would be your dream foursome? Shoot me an email at murphplace808@gmail.com and let me know who your dream foursome is. Well, I am going to get out of here, guys. Thank you guys so much for listening. And like I said, if you have any questions or comments or topics you want to discuss on the podcast, please shoot me an email at murphplace808@gmail.com. Also, you could leave me a message at the Anchor website where you can listen to the podcast. It's also on other avenues, obviously, Google Podcasts, Amazon, iHeart, all of them. It's pretty much on all the listening platforms. And if you'd like to help support the podcast, there's a link for that also. Any help will be appreciated, but not required. I hope everybody has a great week. I hope everybody is staying safe. You know, this stuff, I'm ready for it to be gone. I'm ready to get back to normal life. The courses are open here to play, but you know, the restaurants, not all of them are open. And luckily today, Hawaii Prince was, so we were able to sit down and get some lunch after. And they're allowing 5 people to sit at a table. That's fine. But we were the only ones in there. Nobody else was there. They only had one person working. Okay, so I'm going to get out of here. If you guys are playing golf, hit them long, hit them straight, but don't hit them often. Aloha, everybody.